And what was impressive about that, in addition to the fact that ball had pace, is Vientos lines one to left and Happ with a great diving catch. Well, that's why he gets the gold. That was a seed off the bat of Mark Vientos, and Happ lays out to make a spectacular play for the first out.
Well, that ball was a tracer. Vientos was all over that. It was a hooking away from Happ, but he stayed with it and soared through the air like Superman there to make the play.
110 miles an hour off the bat from Vientos. And Happ saves Imanaga an extra base hit. So that was the bad news for Vientos. The good news for Vientos is that they just went back, and I guess because it's such an arcane rule, they had to decide. They've given him an RBI on the play where Swanson fell into the stands.
Very nice.
Not a sacrifice fly, but an RBI.
They also gave an assist to the fan who pushed Swanson back up to get rid of the ball. Got to get their name.
Brandon Nimmo had an RBI single his first time up. Imanaga gets it to the top of the zone, 0-2.
You know, we were talking to Carlos Mendoza before the game about the Mets defense, and they've struggled. And he said one of the reasons the Cubs are where they're at is because they have exceptional defense.
Well, both of the best publicly available defensive metrics have the Cubs second in the major leagues. Both defensive runs saved and fielding run value rank the Cubs second. I mean, they've got a 3-time Gold Glover in Happ in left field. They've got a Gold Glover in Swanson at short. They've got a Gold Glover in Horner at second.
Carson Kelly's a great backstop, and PCA might be the best center fielder in the game.
Just outside to Nimmo, full count. And when he's healthy, Kyle Tucker is an outstanding outfielder as well.
Dios de la Muerte.
That's Day of the Dead. Stroke to the other side and threw into left field, a base hit just past the diving Shaw. So Nimmo is 2 for 2, and we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary, Luis Torrens is up, and that's because Francisco Alvarez has the night off, at least in a starting role. But one thing that has been noticeable sitting where I sit here at Wrigley Field, which essentially is in the dugout, is just how loud and full of energy Francisco Alvarez has been, really just constantly cheering on each of his teammates after every single pitch. He was down in the tunnel on the last half inning when Brett Baty made that great defensive play, and he scared the living daylights out of me as he came up here running to try and hug his friend and cheer him on. And I think it's just, you know, it's another little bit of insight into the type of leader that Francisco Alvarez is rapidly becoming. He was always thought of as a guy that was potentially going to be a leader on this team, but I think what he's done here over the last couple of weeks, playing through injury, bringing that energy again, there are a lot of people in the organization that think it's already starting to happen.
Torrens hits one up the middle. He's got a base hit. So Luis Torrens contributes with the bat, and the Mets have 2 men on. That's 3 straight hard hit balls against Imanaga to start the inning.
Well, the shortstop is playing a little to pull on Torrens, so plenty of room in the middle of the diamond for Torrens to find the outfield grass.
You know, going back to Steve's report, you know, you might say, well, he's 23 years old. How can he take on a leadership role? But you know what? Some guys are born that way.
Yes, 100%. Catchers are like the quarterbacks of a team.
There's Brett Baty. Swing and a miss at a curveball, 0-1. And speaking of being born that way, you see some of that in Nolan McLean as well.
Yes.
He's only 24.
Very few catchers I ever played with did not have leadership abilities. It's part of the position.
Baty slams one to deep left field. Back goes Happ. Back into the well. And it's out of here! Brett Baty with an opposite field 3-run homer off the left-hander. Carlos Andres Mendoza kept Baty in the lineup tonight against the lefty, and Baty comes through with a 3-run bomb to make it 6-0 New York. His 18th home run, just his 3rd against a left-hand pitcher, and that is a huge blow for the Mets.
What a second half Baty has had. Boy. We've talked about it before. You've talked about it, Gary. At this ballpark, the wells in right and left field are deeper than the gaps. So to go opposite field in that direction takes some kind of knock.
Well, the Mets are strafing Imanaga in this inning. 4 balls hit in this inning, all 99 or harder. And they got 3 runs home. Taylor bounces one to third, long one hopper to Shaw, and he throws him out 2 away.
Pitch is just a fastball up and away. I think the book on Baty for much of his career is that you want to go up with a fastball, that is his Achilles heel, but it's not anymore. He has made an adjustment on that pitch. Bingo.
Well, what a last full inning it's been for Baty as Acuna hits one to Shaw, who makes a diving stop and throws him out. 2 great plays in the field by the Cubs in that inning, but in between, the Mets get a 3-run homer from Baty to make it 6-0.